All right, Matt and Matt's friends, who I forgot to get his name. What's his name again?
Rolf.
My name is Rolf.
Rolf.
Runs
Okay,
golf,
Matt
but
and
I go by
Rolf.
Wax Wars.
Okay, Mr. Wax Wars, welcome to the podcast. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for having us on the show. Really excited to be here.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Before we kind of get into it, I have a lot of questions around how you guys are implementing NFTs and what you guys are doing specifically. But tell me a little bit more about yourselves. Like, what's your guys' background? What's your story? How did you, want to get into the space and start doing what you're doing now?
I've been a concept artist working in the entertainment industry for about 20 years, working on animated features and video game production. And, it was, I'd say 2 years ago, Rolf and I have been friends for 20 years as well. And he reached out to me and he's like, dude, you got to check out this NFT thing. And he didn't even know much about it. I didn't have time to research it. So I was like, look, you go off, you figure it out, come back to me when it gets real and let's maybe do something. So almost a year ago to this day, he reached out and he's like, if I don't tell you to do NFTs, Matt, someone else will. It's about to pop. And he was right because we started working on our own little project. I pitched him the Chronicles of Dr. Zamzi about this doctor in a fantasy universe trying to cure a virus coming from another dimension. And he felt that the story was really timely with COVID and all this big pandemic stuff that's happening right now. So we formulated these trading cards, and on the backs of the trading cards on the NFTs are story elements that help explain what's going on, kind of like a graphic novel in NFT form. And we launched in April, and to our surprise, we almost sold out of all our packs. We made a considerable amount of money that way. And so we realized we kind of have a viable thing going here. And I always had ambitions to make an animated series or something along the lines for the Chronicles of Dr. Zamzi. So we started brainstorming how can we expand the franchise, the IP. And that's how I got involved. Ralph?
Yeah, I mean, just to sum this up in a few words, like our dreams are coming true right now. We just can't believe it. Me and Matt have been friends for over 20 years. And just this year, 2021, it's just turned into, like I said, dreams coming true. So what we've always just been huge fans of sci-fi fantasy worlds, just growing up in 80s, 90s, and now. And really what happened was in 2018, I was able to meet up with one of the founders of this Wax blockchain. And so I was able to kind of get in early with the NFTs. And so we were actually making NFTs in 2018 on the Wax testnet, just seeing how, testing out how the main net would actually end up being. And so, so Matt, I knew Matt was this phenomenal artist. And I mean, to be honest, like most NFTs at this point are maybe not the best quality art. Like it's almost more like on the technical side that people are doing it. And so Matt and I's whole goal has just been to bring original high quality art and story to the blockchain. And I mean, you can see like a lot of the NFTs are almost like Garbage Pail Kids or like a caricature of somebody else's IP or something. And so we just, and there's just endless sequels in the movie theaters or whatever TV. So we just wanted to bring something completely new, original fantasy world is what we've been working on.
Yeah, that's really cool. So is this like supposed to be a show or a series or like a comic series or something like that? Like how are you incorporating NFTs to bring out the storyline that you got here?
We basically, as you collect the NFTs, the trading cards, there's a story on the back of each card. And so as you read and you collect, and you don't even have to collect, you can actually go on our website and read all the story elements on our website and check out the cards on the backs of the cards and the written material that way. And our goal is to expand the franchise. Like I was saying, a lot of our fans were saying, "Where's the functionality?" I don't just want to collect NFTs anymore. When are you going to be staking on our planet, which is another project on Wax? And so we tried really hard to get on there with our planet, but it seemed impossible. We didn't have enough connections to do that. So Rolf is actually a huge contributor in terms of collecting for this game called Hodl God, ran by Onassis. And they started their first staking program called whenstaking.com. And coming up in November 2nd here in just about a week, we're going to be the first outside project that's going to be stakeable on that system. So the goal is to bring more value to our NFTs. And in that sense, you'll be able to actually earn crypto by staking with them. It's called the Void token, the specific crypto. And Rolf can get into it more. It's really exciting.
Oh, I was just going to say, the website you were just showing there, that's Matt's personal website. It's awesome.
How do I get to the other website?
Go to
It is awesome.
drzamzi.com. If you see the banner right there, just go to drzamzi.com, and then you'll be able to see the very specific stuff about our project.
Yeah.
But if you go on Matt's website, you can see all of the amazing projects he's worked on. Like he worked on Star Wars, Angry Birds. You can see all the projects he worked on. This massive EDM concerts in Europe that we want to hopefully go to next year if COVID dies down. We'd love to go check that out, where he designs the whole stage for a festival that goes on for a week with hundreds of thousands of people.
And then it tours around that's the Daydream Fest also tours into Japan, Australia, certain parts of Britain. So I mean, it's also
so if you
really
click
cool.
on sets, there on the left, Brandon, where it says sets. You can see set 1 and set 2.
Like set 1.
Yeah, if you click on set 1, you'll be able to see all of our cards. It's broken up into the rarity groups. So if you click on one of these groups, it'll show you all the cards. Like this is common cards, uncommon cards.
I like the snail one. This one's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's Dr. Zamzi's sidekick. He's like this little tiny 5-inch tall snail-looking guy. He's like a chef, and they meet in a really unexpected kind of way, and then the whole adventure just takes off from there. We have actually a trailer that we did for set 2 that essentially really just launches the beginning of the story like a real movie, where this huge giant called an orgaton has been eating trees that have been infected by this virus, and it ends up dying on this farm. And so Dr. Zamzi is enlisted to try and investigate why, because these things live for like 2,000 years. And when they do die, they walk themselves out to sea so they don't rot and wreak havoc across the land. And that moment is essentially the breaking point that starts the narrative and the plot, not just in the cards, but just in the franchise as a whole. We hired a Hollywood writer, Matt Lyon. He's a creative director at an animation studio out of Toronto. And we're working on a 10-episode treatment for an animated series. And it's looking really good. We got a lot of pitch material that we're going to put into that. And we have tons of contacts throughout the industry. So our goal is to not just create NFTs, but create other big projects. And then lastly, we're actually working on a battle card game similar to like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. It's kind of ironic because I have also painted and illustrated for those companies as well over the years for their cards. But essentially you're going to be able to collect our NFTs and then put them into this game and battle the virus that way with cards and different mixtures of cards to attack. And the concept is to also, again, bring functionality to our NFTs, because no longer are NFTs really just collectibles in terms of just the interest that people have, at least on Wax. A lot of the collectors and fans really want more out of their NFTs. And so by staking with whenstaking.com here on November 2nd and doing card collabs with other big projects and doing our game, we're bringing a ton of functionality to our NFTs.
Yeah, so in addition to just Matt has beautiful, beautiful art. What I was going to say is that the whole crypto community is part of this project. I mean, it's just amazing how many people will help you, if you just ask. And we're just a really tight group of people who are helping each other. And so this would not have been possible without, like Alex Mashinsky, the Celsius Network, the Pomp podcast. Like, in early 2019 and 2018, I was listening to the Pomp podcast, and he was talking about the Celsius network. And I was able to get in early with the Celsius network, and that basically gave us funding to kind of get this thing going. Like we'd still just be working our day jobs if we hadn't been part of this whole crypto community. And I just like to share that story because I know we're all in this together pretty much.
Yeah, it's a brand new world. And because of the success of our first launch and making a little capital for our company, we actually formed a real company called Fabricated Madness. And it's an NFT-based entertainment company. And we have a team now. We have 3D modelers, animators, riggers, writers, and every day is just so fun and challenging. We get to just basically live our dream. It's really cool.
Yeah, Fabricated Madness sounds really interesting. Is that something that you might want to take to Hollywood at some point? Using these as like actual use cases, maybe being able to do movies or TV shows in the future and create NFT collectibles for stuff like that as well. I feel like you could branch out in that direction.
Yeah, we're like I said, we're working on that 10 episode treatment for an animated series. And the goal is to incorporate NFTs into that business model as well, if we can. So the idea is that, after every episode is released on a streaming service or something like that, for a limited time, right after the episode, you can actually collect NFTs of the concept art and the and stills from the actual episode, highlighted moments within the show as NFTs. And I don't think anyone's really doing that right now. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have thought of this. We're not the only ones. But we want to just create this amazing adventure series, circling the narrative that we've been talking about with this virus, and then incorporate NFTs into the entertainment business model. So, we're looking into venture capital. We have an amazing team. We have an amazing vision. We have a roadmap. The roadmap you can actually see on our website. It's at the very bottom of the main page. And we're really serious about this. I quit my job actually, and so did Rolf. And we've been doing this full time for a year. And where we started to where we are now today is light years beyond what I ever thought was possible. So
it's coming along really quickly, though. I commend you for that. It's not easy to do. But no, it looks really, really cool. How do you buy one? Like, if I wanted to buy one of those NFTs today, like if I want to do it right now, where do I go and what do I do?
So the best place to start is the website. If you go to drzansi.com, and we are actually we have one of our friends is a computer engineer, and we're working on a credit card system where you can actually buy them with a credit card. But right now you can only buy them with crypto. So you would have to go to an exchange like Binance or Bittrex and exchange for wax. So you need to get the wax P token, and then you would be able to purchase our primary packs and secondary packs through Nifty Blocks or Atomic Hub. And I can give you the links to those places. But basically, if you go to wax.atomichub.io, and you can just search on there, and that's where you can see all of the like sold out cards you can get on the secondary market. And then we do have some limited primary packs still available from our second series. Our first series is completely sold out. So
yeah, and once you get your wax in your wallet and you make a wallet and you put your wax in there, we recommend also tracking us once a week because we do these card drops every Friday, and every card that we're releasing is directly related to our game, our battle game that we're making. I think I forgot to tell you, but we actually partnered with a game developer, Robot Sea Monkey, I think, or Sea Monster, excuse me, and a good friend of mine, Josh Rose, who I worked with 20 years ago, making PlayStation 2 games back in the day for like Lord of the Rings 2 Towers and Aragon and stuff. And he's incredibly talented, and he's developed this great game company. So they're taking care of all the game design, trying to figure out, the best way to utilize our NFTs, our cards in game. And they have an amazing team. So we've been working with them as well.
Very cool. Why wax? Is there a benefit to using that for minting NFTs or for what you guys do, or do you like the platform better?
So the Wax blockchain was like literally designed for gaming and NFT trading. Whereas like Ethereum is sort of like things are built on top of Ethereum to sort of make it work. So what the Wax blockchain was just completely designed from the creators of this thing called op skins, which was this idea where you could buy and sell your own skins in a game. So like PUBG, Fortnite, they make millions of dollars off people buying these in-game skins, which then they don't really own, like it's stuck in the game. So Opskins was one of those first websites where they figured a workaround where you could actually sell skins to other people. And so they're the ones that created the Wax blockchain specifically for gaming, so that there's like no fees. Like if you transfer an NFT to someone else, no fees. Like whereas Ethereum, you could pay like $50 to transfer that's why it doesn't make sense. Like it makes sense if it's the NFT is worth $100,000, then $50 isn't that big of a deal. But on Wax, it's a lot of trading cards and things, where something that has very little value, it just doesn't make sense to have this huge gas fee. So Wax has no fees. And then there's a bunch of games coming out right now where you would actually be able to own the skin, kind of like in Ready Player One or whatever. You would own the skin and you can sell it to anybody else. So that's kind of seems like it's the future of gaming, is this true ownership of your character and being able to customize your character. And so we've partnered with this company called Onesys, who their first game is Hologod, and they have a new game coming out called Niftyville, which is like a Grand Theft Auto style game where you can actually have a store in the game where you can sell your NFTs and 3D characters can walk around into the store. And that just seems like that's the future, is having NFTs that are part of like the metaverse, this universe where you can walk around and explore. It's just, that's the future.
It's really obvious to us that this business model in terms of NFTs and gaming is really the future of gaming. And there's just a lot of advantages to that. Having a stake in the game by owning the content, not just by playing it, but actually owning your own character or your own skin or your own gun or whatever. One thing I forgot to talk about actually is our 3D modeling team is actually working on a 3D adventure game with Dr. Zamzi as well. It's in the very early stages. We're starting out by modeling out his entire laboratory, Dr. Zamzi's laboratory. And we have some really interesting clues and puzzles that we're going to integrate into the test. But we also see the future, not just in gaming, but in VR. And what Rolf explained in Niftyville, I think is going to be a reality in terms of, having a real store. And, you look at games like Axie Infinity, where it's play to earn, and you can actually make living by playing a game. And that's also something we're going to integrate into our battle cards game as well. So we're huge fans of the Void token. And, through Onesys, we found out that they're really close to actually becoming tradable on a major blockchain exchange. We can't give away that name just yet, but
I was going to say.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm careful. But when that happens, Void's going to be extremely valuable. I mean, it already is in our minds. And the fact that we're the first outside project on whenstaking.com where you can actually stake our NFTs into their system and get Void back is just an incredible thing. People are so lost in most cases that don't collect NFTs on how that model works. But earning actual money by collecting NFTs is happening, and we're excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, talking about integrations with NFTs, have you thought about doing like a metaverse type thing, something maybe in Decentraland or Crypto Voxels, and maybe taking the store, the NFTs there as well?
Rolf?
Yeah, we will definitely have to look into that. And one other thing I wanted to add about the Wax blockchain too is that they're building a bridge to the Ethereum network so that people on the Ethereum side can take advantage of the Wax blockchain. So you'd be able to actually move your Ethereum NFTs into Wax, transfer them, and so that you can avoid the gas fees. Like it's something that is in beta right now, but trying to let all the Ethereum people take advantage of the benefits of the Wax blockchain for gaming and NFTs.
But to answer your question, we're extremely interested in the metaverse. It kind of seems like the rebirth of the internet through a virtual experience. And with Facebook just announcing that they're actually going to change their name to some metaverse name now, and basically putting all their chips into that system really does prove that this is the future of communication, of NFTs, of just, virtual everything. So, I mean, it's an amazing, we're in the very early stages of that, as a society, but it's becoming mainstream really fast, and we can't wait to be a part of it.
Yeah, metaverses, open world, type VR environments are definitely going to be the new social interaction over the internet, the new social media. So I know exactly why Facebook's going that direction. It just makes sense. It'd be cool though, like if you could walk around in the metaverse and see these characters like actually built out like in 3D and be able to kind of touch them, interact with them, and then buy one of those NFTs. That'd be a good like marketing tool.
Our vision for the 3D adventure game for the Chronicles of Dr. Samsey is actually really cool. He actually lives in this hospital called Halo Bridge, and it's built on this island. And there's half giants and humans and weird creatures, and all these people have medical issues as a race, as different races. So you're going to be able to walk around the entire island and explore and meet characters. And if we can get enough funding, and that's why venture capital is really important to us right now. We have a huge plan already worked out on how this would be developed and built. And I think what you're saying in terms of like connecting that to the metaverse would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, you're dealing with an original creative world that I've been working on personally for 20 years. I know it like the back of my hand. And I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of paintings illustrating what this place could be. And so the vision is that after you play the around the island and earn NFTs and get your crypto going and go on these adventures, we're eventually going to expand and go into the whole world of Dr. Samsey, which is called Galagan. And there's like a metropolis called New Logan, where there's all kinds of weird, nefarious gangsters. And it's kind of got this 1930s retro future vibe. And then there's this race that happens in the universe as well called Metacron, where it's like a 30-day race with like crazy machines, vehicles, robots, and creatures and humans all racing each other, trying to capture these pelotons. So you can get involved in that. So there's a lot of opportunity in the world and to expand.
Yeah, I think it's a really good combination if you were to use the metaverse with, the storyline type of telling with NFTs. There's a lot of cool interactions you could definitely do. I want to ask you guys one more question, kind of more broad in general. Since you guys are helping innovate NFTs and kind of push the direction that you can take them, what do you think, NFTs will eventually evolve into? What direction do you think they're going from a utility perspective?
I guess I'll start off. Go for it, Rolf. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that eventually, most people maybe they won't say NFT. It'll just be this is normal. Because I think that what's going to happen is the technology behind NFTs will just become part of everyone's everyday life. One example is like on Amazon, you'll get an NFT for the product instead of actually the product, and you can kind of buy and sell that, give it to your mom, she can buy and sell it, and then you hit a button and then it's shipped to you, but you already own that product already. And then just having these very smart NFTs where, for example, you would have like a digital frame on your wall, and when it's sunset, you might see a sunset in the NFT, and then sunrise, there's just all kinds of different like time and space elements to the NFT, which I'm assuming already exists. But I think just the whole concept of NFTs will just become ubiquitous, where kids and people, they'll just say, oh, this is normal. And it'll be contracts. Like it kind of can get rid of sort of lawyer and those kind of services where you already have this smart contract that ensures that, you're safe from legal or people hacking you, having this secure contract.
Yeah, it's essentially a decentralized encrypted system. So I read an article about the medical industry and how our medical records will eventually evolve into NFTs as well. And they actually said that, art specifically as an NFT will be a very small percentage of the actual whole use of NFTs, that it will expand into, like Rolf was saying, contracts, paperwork, all kinds of things that are related in all different kinds of businesses. I mean, my wife works for as a mortgage broker, and I can see, mortgages as you purchase a house turn into an NFT, and that's locked, encrypted, safe, can't be tampered with, and you hold your NFT in your wallet. for all. There might be subheaders for like, mortgages, medical, and then you got your collector NFT art stuff with all your Dr. Zamzi cards. So yeah, there's a lot of uses for it, and I think we're just at the beginning, obviously.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time for NFTs. They've gone absolutely ballistic this year too, especially in the spring and starting to crop up again this fall. Really, really interesting to see which direction they go going into next year.
Absolutely.
Anyways, guys, thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast and explain what you guys are doing with NFTs in the space, with your guys' project. You have it on the shirt too?
Yeah, we have shirts that you can actually buy with our NFTs on them. So
I want one. Can I get one in crypto? I'll pay you in wax.
Right now, yes, we can get you. We can figure that out for sure.
We'll send you one. Don't worry about it.
Tell me how much. I'll pay you in wax and ship it down to me.
You got it?
Yeah, totally, man.
Cool. All right, guys. Talk to you again in the future. Would love to talk again. As this continues to roll out. Other than that, have a good day, man. Both of you.
Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it. Take care.
Anytime.